Hey, hey, hey. Welcome back to Workplace Woes, the podcast where we dig deep into the everyday absurdities of office life. I'm your host, Alex, and today we're diving into something we all know too well, the bosses who just don't get it. If you've ever had a boss who seems like they're living on a completely different planet, this episode is for you. You know, the ones who think they know everything about your job, but in reality, they have no idea what's going on. Now don't get me wrong, not all bosses are bad. Some are amazing. Great leaders who understand what's happening on the ground and know how to support their teams. But then there are the others, the ones who send you into an internal eye-roll spiral just by walking into the room. You know the ones I'm talking about, the boss who has no clue but acts like they're the smartest person in the room. The boss who makes decisions without any real understanding of how things work, and the worst part is they think they're solving problems. So let's get into it, because we've all had our share of these bosses. First up, we've got the boss who's always too busy to listen to you. They're always in meetings, always handling something important. And by the time they finally make time to hear your idea, they've already decided on something without even consulting anyone. You've got a fantastic idea for a project, something that could really help improve things. But when you go to bring it up, they're like, "Oh, that sounds great, but I'm just way too busy today. Can we talk next week?" And you know exactly what's coming next. Next week never comes. They say, "I'll check it out later," and then later turns into never. It's so frustrating because you know that their idea of busy is sitting in their office, reading emails from last year and pretending to make decisions. Meanwhile, you're the one who's actually putting in the work, getting things done, and solving problems on the ground. But no one sees that. They only see the person in the corner office acting like they're juggling the entire company, when in reality, they're just dodging the real work. It's like they're addicted to being busy, but have no idea what it means to actually get things done. They live in a world where there are always meetings and calls, but nothing ever gets resolved. And at the end of the day, you're left thinking, "Hey, I just wanted to improve our process. Is that too much to ask?" Next up, we have the boss who thinks leadership is just giving orders. This is the boss who believes that being a leader means standing at the front of the room and yelling out commands like they're running a military operation. "All right, team, here's the plan. You do this, you do that, and we'll hit our targets." They never ask for your input, never check in with how things are actually going, and they definitely don't want to hear any feedback. If you have any suggestions, they'll dismiss them with a quick, "We'll get to that later." And of course, later never comes. It's not leadership, it's dictatorship. They've got this idea that if they keep talking, keep assigning tasks, they're leading. But real leadership is about listening to your team, helping them solve problems, and making sure they have what they need to succeed. Instead, they just bark out orders and disappear into their office, leaving you and your team to figure out the details. It's the "do as I say, not as I do" kind of leadership that never works. The worst part is, they don't see the problem. They think they're being proactive or decisive. Meanwhile, they're creating a culture of resentment and burnout because no one feels like they have any ownership of their work. Oh, and don't get me started on the boss who thinks they're tech savvy. You know the type. They love to drop phrases like, "I'm very into tech. I know all about the cloud, social media, and whatnot." But you've seen them struggle to unmute themselves on Zoom for the last 15 minutes of the meeting. They spend 5 minutes trying to figure out why their camera won't turn on, while everyone else is just awkwardly staring at the screen. Meanwhile, you're sitting there thinking, maybe you should actually learn how to use this before you lecture the team about the future of work. And let's not forget the emails. You ever get an email from your boss that's just one long paragraph with zero punctuation? And then they act like it's your fault you can't understand it. "Didn't you get my email? I sent it this morning." Yeah, I got it. But I'm still trying to figure out where the sentence ends and where the next one begins. And don't you dare point out the formatting issues because now they'll be offended. Oh, well, I just thought you'd understand the context. What they really mean is, I know the basics of technology, but I still need someone to help me out with basic things like formatting an email or setting up a call. It's like they watched a couple of YouTube tutorials on how to use a tablet, and now they think they're Steve Jobs.